Hello guys. Welcome to a special episode of Third World Cinema Club.
Third World Cinema Club.
Warning. This podcast contains spoilers.
We'll be talking about the biggest independent film festival in the country, Cinemalaya.
Is it though?
MMFF, ganun. Cinemalaya 2019, and 10 films that participated in the competition section. I'm John Tawasil from Press and Confusion, and I'm joined with three of my colleagues. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm DJ Ramones of filmfest-related.
I'm Preston from Rapper, Film Police, Clean Anarchy, and more.
Hi, I'm Jim of Jimmy Nicola at iba pa.
Tavern by Sian Lim. So Tavern is about a man who is contacted by an old friend of his father's who told him that his father has been killed. He goes to his, hometown to investigate why, and he finds three suspects who have allegedly committed this crime. So how many of you have seen Tavern?
Raise of hands.
Raise of hands. So DJ and
Yeah,
unfortunately as well. Actually, DJ and I have very different opinions regarding Tavern. Personally, while Tavern is not a super ultra bad film per se, I mean it's not bad, but
It's bad. Look. It's bad.
I didn't like it for the following reasons. First of all, it's not very clear in what it wanted. Well, it wanted to say something, but it didn't communicate it effectively. Show instead of just tell. It didn't show, it didn't tell. It kept its secrets, because it's a mystery. It kept its secrets for so long, and it's paced very, very slowly. So by the end of the film, parang wala ka ng pake. Pero DJ, what did you think of the film?
Tingin ko talaga hindi proportional yung hate to what it actually is. If we're talking about yung quote-unquote worst films ng Cinemalaya over the past few years,
Yeah.
parang ang layo naman ito. It's not great. I'm not sure if it's good, pero it's not bad for me. The word I use is it's decent.
Mm-hmm.
Na I understood what it's
Good
trying
job,
to do.
Sian Lim.
Ang gusto kasi niya parang while you're watching it, iko-question mo daw yung reality. So parang unreliable narrator kind of story siya. Pero hindi talaga niya ginawa yan. So that's one thing that it wasn't really able to achieve. I think may tension naman kahit paano yung pelikula. Although I agree with you nung sinabi mo na it's trying to withhold too much information for too long.
Yeah.
Na at some point parang just get on with it.
Yeah, just tell us. Pati yung akala mong clues, they're not really clues per se.
Feeling ko challenging ang horror for a first-time filmmaker. It's not that easy to communicate yung results kaagad, di ba?
Yeah, though I'll classify this more as a parang psychological thriller more than a horror per se.
Imagine, di ba si Sharon dun sa Bukod Kang Pinagpala, if you remember that? Cinema 1.
Yeah, that's Cinema 1.
I think it had the same, from what I'm hearing right now, yeah,
It has similar shortcomings.
Feeling ko people were thrown off by one specific sequence in sa film, yung sa second suspect.
Yeah, this is a spoiler. By the way, this is a spoiler podcast. The second suspect, he's insane. Talagang insane siya. Tapos yung pagkasabi niya ng mga bagay, sobrang bagay sa insanity niya, pero sobrang cartoony for me. Na tipong may mga...
Cartoony kasi talaga yung pagkaka-present.
Yeah, that's
bigla
true.
may speech bubbles.
May speech bubble siya. At hindi lang normal speech bubbles, yung talagang stylized na...
Parang Bagyong Beverly.
Comic book.
Comic book
Talaga?
speech bubbles. Tapos may biglang apoy sa ilalim ng seat niya, gano'n.
Baka kino-communicate rin si Sian Lim yung insanity na feel niyo.
I mean, that's true. Baliw naman talaga siya. Na-communicate naman yun na baliw talaga to. Pero kaya naman daanan niya sa akin.
Yung own insanity ni Sian Lim na parang ano gagawin ko dito?
Yeah. There's insanity din kasi na disturbing versus insanity na medyo silly na.
Nabasag niya yung whatever tension it has built up up to that point.
Kasi the first, is medyo okay pa eh. Yung first suspect.
Yung first suspect is parang stock, suspect na tino-torture, tapos parang matigas talaga siya. Ayaw niyang
That's what she said.
Tapos yun, it just went off the rails talaga by the end.
Ang naisip ko kasing challenge pa ni Cian Lim dito is, actor kasi siya, diba? May mga few people na nakakaalam na he joined Ricky Lee Workshop. So, di ba nandun na yung mga expectations, kung mag-work pa ba as a director yung si Cian Lim, kung effective pa ba.
But I think we're forgetting naman eh. Kasi like, I'd like to believe na people don't go and bash him kasi actor siya. I think people wanted to see him rin naman.
Yeah, I mean, may expectations naman.
Yeah.
And, would you say, DJ, that this is a decently acted film?
Good thing that you brought it up. Kasi nung sa screening ko ng Tavern, may talkback after. So, Cian Lim was there. So, one of the questions was, if you were an actor in this film, alin yung ipa-play mong role? And sinabi niya, any one of the 3 suspects. And that's actually good for me kasi that's one of the clearly good parts of the film, yung acting nung 3 suspects na yan. Another question nung talkback is, bakit daw ang generic nung may cult kasi?
There's a cult.
Yun doon ang galing yung story. Bakit ang generic daw na may ritual sa cave, ganyan? Sabi ni Cian Lim, pinapasa ko lang yung information. Dinistance daw kasi nila from any actual organization. So, gusto lang daw nila talaga ng generic na cult.
If gayahin niya, baka kunin siya ng cult.
Well, may ganong practical aspect as a filmmaker siguro.
Danger mo rin yan.
At the same time, parang nawalan din siya ng ng impact or parang relevance since hindi ka
Dito ba papasok yung kasi yung editor ko sabi niya, may aspects of cosmic horror. I'm thinking very Cthulhu, Lovecraftian.
For this one? No. Not at all, no. It's very, wala akong walang dread, walang ganong cosmic horror level dread dito eh. At best is a personal, kumbaga, horror of the character. Hanggang dun lang. I mean, for me, it doesn't reach beyond that. But that level of parang personal horror. Pero yun, Tavern, very mixed bag. Ako, I didn't like it. DJ is okay.
Okay.
DJ loved it.
Peak okay. Middle okay.
Question, bakit ka po ng title?
Ay, sinabi niya yun, Tavern is yung tabunan. So,
tabunan yung
yun nga, so yung lahat ng plot points, tinabunan na. Wala na makafigure out.
Parang adventure.
Maganda ka na! Maduga limaw! Rob!
Annie the Harvest by Kim Zuniga and Sandro de Rosario. Disclaimer, we featured the Annie team here in the previous cast and crew, in the previous episode. So Annie is about this kid who has recently lost his parents. He moves to the province to live with his grandfather, and while he's there, he comes across a robot, which he names Annie. And the robot turns out to be a war bot, and it's set in the year 2050. Basically, that's the story of the film.
Yeah. Though, sabi sa synopsis, it's about a kid whose grandfather gets sick, and he has to find magical beans to save the old man's life. So parang
which does not really happen in the film, except for the
describe it. Ang daming gustong gawin ng film. There's so many subplots that are all on equal footing. I can't even call them subplots, but they're all like
it's a mess and a victim of its own
ambition.
Yeah. To be fair to the marketing team of this film, they really did a good job trying to market this film. Unfortunately, with good marketing comes good expectations.
Yeah.
And this film really didn't deliver any of that. Firstly, yung sequence ng events, yung pagka-edit niya, wala. Sinpal niya lahat.
I think, speaking of the sequence, yung simula pa lang kita mo na yung symptomatic na siya of the whole problem. Kasi like the first scene, papatulugin pa lang si Mickey.
Pero ang tagal.
Ang tagal!
no wonder hindi makatulog yung bata kasi kakantahan ng lalabay. After kantahan ng lalabay,
may kwento.
bubuhatin para superhero. And then biglang may secret map na pinakita.
Yeah.
And then may kwento na syempre gagawin animated sequence.
Anong tong nangyayari? It's so...
It's like to communicate something, they have to do so many things. And I think down the line naging...
Ang dami nila sinow na hindi na kailangan i-show.
It wants to be a story about a boy and his robot na parang he's feeling abandoned. It's the first time that he's in the province. He's surrounded by people na hindi niya kilala, binubuli siya. So, he forms a relationship with this robot. On one end, gusto rin niya maging parang dystopian war fiction between rebels and the farmers. And the mega corporation trying to get their farmlands.
Yeah, which I appreciate, di ba?
Tapos gusto pa rin niya maging
adventure.
Adventure na may treasure na mixing fantasy and
yung reality. Yung ano ba yun, yung magic beans never really materialized anywhere in the film.
Hindi ko kailangan, hindi ko alam bakit.
Hindi ko alam kung bakit nila sinama yun.
At isa pa, yung drama na he's trying to find ano nangyari sa tatay niya. Kasi di ba like...
it's a gigantic red herring. Walang nangyari.
Kita mo from afar, ba't may nakatingin doon? Tapos biglang...
akala ko, may nakita siyang USB sa bahay ng tatay niya. Akala ko, yun yung parang memory engrams or whatever ng tatay niya.
It's hard to talk about it kasi tayo rin, we can't piece together ano yung totoong story niya. Kasi it's really a mess.
Kumpara mo sa Tavern na nagtatago siya ng information, ito, may information na nakalatag pero wala kang maintindihan. Very ambitious film, and to be fair, when it works talaga.
Yeah, actually the CGI, some parts are really good na it tries rin alam mo yun, it wants to be Hollywood level. So at some parts it try niya i-bombard with CGI pero it looks progressively bad. Like even sa dulo.
The more CGI, the worse it gets.
In trying to make it so many things, it became too mechanical for it to be heartfelt.
Yeah.
Di ba? Kasi, okay, checklist. Ito yung kailangan natin gawin.
Masyado siyang robotic.
Yun, legit naging too robotic siya for it's hard to be felt.
Which is very unfortunate.
How about the acting?
It's not bad for me. I mean...
Limited sila ng script talaga.
It's limited by the script.
No, ako not exactly acting, pero feel ko a younger Mithy would have worked better.
Tapos cliffhanger pa yung ending, di ba? May after credits thing.
Talaga?
Yung malis ka na, no?
I didn't stay.
Yung after credits thing niya, or mid credits thing niya, may nag-respond doon sa radyo. Parang may sequel, there's chance for a sequel.
Pero yun di ba? Parang it makes you wonder, parang setup ba talaga to? Have they always planned for sequels na magiging franchise talaga siya?
Yun yung problem rin nila. Kasi siguro, it fell was at the weight of its ambitions.
Yeah.
Yung ambition laging lumalabas in relation to the film, na parang ambitious film, ambition, ganyan. Pero I was afraid at first na parang yung ambition nila is all about the effects lang na mahirap kasing gumawa ng effects, pero it turns out beyond the effects.
Yeah,
you still need to make a good movie.
May structural problems talaga siya.
It's a film that needed more time to grow. Which is disappointing, pero good luck to the team in the future.
Hi, my name is Elena S. Fernandez. I'm 30 years old. I live in Ternate, Cavite, Philippines.
Pandango sa Hukay. It's about a midwife played by Lisa Calzado who is trying to go abroad to Saudi Arabia, but one day things happen.
And do they happen?
And shit, do they happen? Who has seen Pandango other than myself?
Raise of hands.
Me? Yeah. So what did you think of Pandango sa Hukay? ...
Okay lang.
Okay lang. I watched this at a gala night. Yung pagka-pitch sa akin ay para siyang it highlights the plight of the midwives in our country and ganyan. I watched this after Edward, which we will talk about before, which also dealt with the healthcare system. So naisip ko parang ganon. And for its first half, it's a very, it's a very light-hearted,
very slice of life nga.
Slice of life na comedy, which I wouldn't have minded na if the film ended like that, it would have been a perfectly...
And it's women really interacting with each other.
Yeah, it's mostly women interacting with each other. It would have been a perfectly acceptable, normal Cinemalaya film.
And a woman-dominated industry, right?
Most midwives in this country are women. And yun sana, ganda na sana niya. Yeah. But then, in its second half, it evolves into what, in my opinion, is one of the worst second halves of any Cinemalaya film I've ever seen. It's problematic to a fault. Na disappointing given female director nito. It's unnecessarily cruel to its character. And parang the decisions that happen in this film seem like they were done to service this ending na ang gustong sabihin niya ay, shit, ganito ang pinagdadaanan ng mga midwives natin. Tingnan mo ang sakripisyo nila para lang makaalis ng bansa. Which, in theory, kinda works, pero in practice, didn't really work for me at all. Pinaka-deal breaker yun. So yun, kinidnap si sa kalsada ng mga these thugs. Ang purpose lang nila is to be mean.
To be evil.
To be evil.
Yung ngayon, parang sabi ko, ang revelation dito,
Kulang na lang magganon sila ng mustache
well,
nila.
actually, sino pangalan niya, ni Dog Days? Actor.
Si Ibs.
Oh, parang ano rin siya, cool. He actually does that with this,
Yeah.
with the pipe.
Kasi kulang na lang talaga. They're mustache twirling villain.
Ang issue ko dito, it's, like what you said, it's two different films.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I would have wanted to see the first film na the midwives interacting sa
Yeah, I
special
would
life.
have watched the whole film na 2 hours of that. I wouldn't have.
And I would have been interested sa isang film like, okay, a midwife gets kidnapped by this
Yeah.
group of thugs. Tapos naging ano siya, naging vehicle siya for women empowerment. Like the French film Revenge. Ang ginagawa niya, in-up-end niya yung rape revenge subgenre, di ba, of the 80s. I would have rather seen a film like that. Pero ito kasi it's like yung the discoveries that the bad guys are bad. And it's like,
Yeah, and they use sexual assault to parang bigyan ng character development na
yeah,
what's the point?
it's very by the way, parang okay, ano pa yun eh, it's in the middle, it's right after a comedy sequence.
A comedic scene.
Oh,
Tumatawa yung audience nung gala night after that. Tapos biglang rape. Parang what the fuck, di ba? Sobra. Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't accomplish anything eh.
I zoned out. I didn't like Tabon, I didn't like Annie that much. Pero this second half of this film, I hated it more.
Siguro kasi like the other films, kita natin there's an effort, and yung effort na
May effort naman eh.
Yung hindi natupad yung aspirations. Ito kasi there's a malignancy to it eh.
If
No.
distance nila yung rape from that.
Not
lang
really eh. I mean, the whole kidnapping thing is really out of, it's like a different film eh.
The rape kasi is emblematic of the problems. I mean, it's the height of yung problems makes that rape so carelessly, so...
It's just like what I see in what I see in DDS propaganda films na tipong sobrang dinidemonize mo yung criminal to the point na hindi na sila mukhang tao.
Yeah.
Na tipong ganun yung lumabas na, ewan ko kung sadya yun, I don't think so, pero ganun yung lumalabas na.
One good thing about the movie, yung performance ni Isa Calzado.
Yes, to be fair naman.
Even if sobrang yun nga, walang kwenta yung nangyari. Pero after, na-communicate pa rin niya
yung pain, yung
naramdaman ng character. You
Yes,
really empathize. Well, especially since ang haba ng set-up in the first half.
okay na siya.
Yung upset mo dun sa film eh.
Yeah, I mean, part of that comes from her performance na genuine naman talaga.
Split the film.
To be fair. I actually really like the first half of this film. The second half is so, yun lang.
Ang puso ko, pangakong
Children of the River. Yeah, so it's about Elias, played by Noel Comilla Jr.
Elias.
Elia. So, he and his friends live along the river, noticeably absent.
Talaga?
Oh, talaga, along the river talaga sila.
River.
Noticeably, wala yung mga tatay nila. And we see why this is so as the film goes on.
Yeah.
Pero while that's happening, it's just your normal, slice of lifey film in the vein of films like Purok-Siete. Who here has seen, other than me, Children of the
I
River?
haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Okay, so Jim, what did you think about Children of the River?
Actually, na pinapanood ko siya, natatawa ako. Not because the film is laughable. Pero kasi, nung pinapanood ko na siya, talagang halata na it was somewhat a Filipino version of Call Me By Your Name.
Aha.
You know? And then, here in the Philippines, we do our version ng mga Hollywood or foreign film.
Ayun nga.
For instance, Moments of Love na kinuha nila from Summer and Time and The Lake House. Kasalanan bang sambahin ka? Which was parang reference nun ay Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
Isa pa ako. Dawson's Creek. Tabing ilog.
Tabing ilog.
Ngayon, okay na sana yung, for me, okay naman yung film. Yung first half, okay, kasi parang it's about,
I mean, it's fun.
It's fun eh.
It's fun.
It's
Children
fun.
ever.
Yun na nga, call me by your name, gano'n. So, okay, sige. Siyempre, di naman pwede mag-daring si Noel Comia Jr. kasi bata,
it's very,
wholesome eh.
Parang it's a sweeter,
milder
version.
version.
PG-13 version of Call Me By Your Name. Without no peaches, no...
Ang naisip kong pelikula dito, yung Ang Huling Charsa ni Anita.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pwede.
So, maganda na sana kasi parang, di ba, it's about ito sexual identity or identity crisis, ganon. Na sana doon na nag-focus yung film. Kaso, during the last act, parang, ano na nangyayari?
Veered into something else.
Oo, ganon.
Yeah, so it became this parang pseudo-commentary / some people are calling it propaganda for the military.
Ay, talaga?
Which I'm not really sure if that's the case.
Spoil.
I mean, it's favorable towards the military. Pero at the same time, yung mga sundalong ito, they worked for the Marawi siege. So, I guess doon.
For me, hindi siya nag-work yung ganung part na ng story. Kasi parang nung una, wala akong clue na military or sundalo yung tatay. Kasi ang nasa isip ko, parang siguro mga seaman sila. Tapos diba, parang deprive sila to watch TV, ganun. So, ano nangyayari doon sa yung
weird sa ko dun sa yung parang information
behind
blackout eh.
Ganun.
Would I say it's like two different films? Not really.
To me, hindi naman.
Not really, no.
Yung ba yung ano?
I mean, it just follows its course like the river, ganun. It's a tale of coming of age. Na may halong yung may lesson about the inevitability of loss, ganun siguro, I don't know. Yung dialogue is kind of cheesy at points. Pero there's something about it eh. May charm siya sa akin na that kind of works. And even though you may not agree with yung viewpoint niya about the military at the end, I mean I've seen worse films in Cinemalaya. I mean it's not bad for me.
May mga parts lang dun sa dialogue na parang for me sloppy or sometimes parang verbatim ulit-ulit. Like, di ba yung alam na nga natin that Noel Comia Jr.'s character na si Elias or Elia ay bakla. Tapos diba parang ang medyo naiirita ako sa part na parang paano nalaman ng community na bakla si Elias, diba na parang
I think it's normal na pag mga small towns or mga small
word gets around.
Village, so word gets around.
Yeah,
parang lalo na yung mga tita na, ay, yan, medyo binabay. Medyo binabay gumalaw yun.
DJ, what did you think of the film?
Nung una, yung coming of age part niya, same sentiment kay Jim na parang TV movie.
parang siyang episode ng Maynila.
Ang daming awkward, tapos parang alam mo na kung saan tutungo, ganyan. Pero I was caught off guard dun sa twist. Dun sa twist na yun yan, na anak pala sila ng mga sundalo. Tapos umiyak ako dun sa eksena na yung tawagan.
Parang tawagan na
hindi kasi
phone scene.
Throughout the film, parang magtataka ka rin sabay tinatawagan yung magkapit-bahay. Kasi nga, hindi mo alam kung nasan yung tatay nila. And then it was revealed dun sa scene na yun na mga sundalo sila. Tapos, pag hindi tumawag, ibig sabihin.
Namatay na siya.
Or pag tumawag, pero iba yung sinabi, iba yung sumagot, ganyan. Ang bigat nung eksena na yun. Tapos, hindi ko rin mapalawanan kung ba't ako umiyak. Pero dahil wala rin talaga sa expectation ko na nagsimula kasi yung contrast siguro na parang kid problems, coming of age.
Parang pruksyete din eh.
Pero there's this big problem outside na malaki talaga.
Oo.
Yung contrast mo.
Kudos sa child actors. Best child ensemble.
Yes.
Mag-isa ka lang dito?
May pusa ako.
Hindi ka ba nalulungkot?
Mukha ba ako malungkot? Pare-pareho lang kayo mga lalaki. You are all the same shit.
Malamaya, The Color of Ash. It's directed by two female directors. So it's about this Sunshine Cruz is art professor who is in a bit of a creative slump, I guess. She falls in love with a younger, hunky photographer. And they have a relationship, a very sexual relationship. And there's lots of art, there's lots of cigarettes. So, who has seen Malamaya other than myself?
Raise of hands.
So, kami ni DJ. Naisip ko, is this a retread of Belle de Lure? But actually, no. It's less about the romance and more about the creative process in art. It's also, it's a very, it treats the romance very differently. Yung Belle de Lure is very conventional. We'll talk about it later, of course. Pero dito sa Malamaya, it's parang very slow-paced. It's art, mas art house yung sensibility niya, I guess.
Yeah. Used yung subgenre emerging right now, yung cougar cinema that DJ called it.
Philippine cougar cinema, copyright DJ Ramon. The tropes are there, but it treats the material in a very different way. Yung una kong inisip is yung originality. May yung students kasi challenge siya na art should be parang de novo. Pero she uses, pre-made fabrics na wini-weave niya into her paintings. So parang it's how artists can appropriate beauty from other places to use in their own art. At the same time, like it's a metaphor for the relationship as a whole. Kinuha niya yung pain from that relationship and made it into art. Ito yung pwedeng beautiful pain yung Belle de Lure talaga ito Pero naisip ko rin, it's about generational differences in how art is perceived by the young and the old. And the old, parang usually it's the younger, the newer generations kinukuha nila from the masters, di ba? Ito baliktad. Yung old guard, sila yung kumukuha ng inspiration from their younger counterparts. Yeah, DJ, what did you think about Malamaya?
Nag-disagree kasi ako dun sa'yo na parang iba yung approach niya. Well, iba yung approach niya if you're comparing to Belle de Lure. Kasi sobrang lighthearted ng Belle de Lure and very positive yung outlook niya.
This is different.
This is dark and edgy, which I like kasi parang it made the film really watchable from start to end. May ganun tension. Yun yung approach. Pero what does it really say about that kind of relationship? To me, parang it turned out really predictable.
Pero their disagreements also stemmed from their differences in how they approach art as a whole.
Ako, I haven't seen it again. Pero from what I'm hearing, baka nga, sabi nga ni John, iba yung atake niya. Maybe kasi the relationship is not ginamit na siyang vehicle to discuss larger themes on art appreciation. And
for Belle de Lure, it was more about the relationship itself. Pero ito, the relationship's not the center. It's simplified. It's a simplified version sa Malamaya. Pero it's yun yan. Tama ka. For me, it's made to.
It's only using the conventions sa vehicle nga for a larger discussion, for a conversation.
Yeah. Admittedly, it's not for everyone. I mean, it's not a very fast-paced movie.
Parang na-curious na, bakit parang pag art world, kailangan sexy yung nangyayari, gano'n. Parang may ganun association sila na
mundane art world, gano'n.
When it comes to art, ano ba na-associate natin na images? Painting women, nude paintings, lalo sa bagay. So, feeling ko there's may inherent connection siya.
And that's actually discussed, diba? Parang maraming opinions yung character ni Sunshine Cruz about women. Yung national artist discussion.
Sa Milo, laging women are the muse. Or, baka, I didn't see this film, pero baka it's also tackling those themes na women are always the subject of the art, but not...
Yeah.
So fair point ka, it's really more about the art world than the relationship. Kasi yung characters medyo
It's a very secondary relationship. I mean, if you're looking for something like Belle de Lure, you're not gonna be satisfied. It's about something else, something more. But I'm surprised. Someone picked this up for distribution. For Solar. I'm surprised. I mean, good for them. I hope people watch it and
naman siya.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't come into it expecting this,
Star Cinema.
Star Cinema-ish May December romance.
Sungot ka talaga eh. Wala ka na matinong sinabi dito sa bata eh.
Isa naman dyan sa anak mo. Kaya nang iniwanan niyang apo mo, si Raulo kasi.
Hindi si Raulong apo mo. Special child. Special child ang tawag sa kanya.
Iska by Theodore Boborol. So, Iska is about this titular character, Iska, who works multiple jobs. Siya yung nagpapatakbo ng Xerox machine. She also takes care of her autistic grandson who was abandoned by his mother. That's basically it. So, have we all watched Iska?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Minsan, I also have a hard time reconciling how are we supposed to depict poverty in cinema. Kasi sabi ko, at the end of the day, sino mo nakikinabang? So minsan, I have a hard time taking in films that depict poverty. Kasi parang, where do you draw the line? Kung ito yung totoo nang nangyayari naman talaga. And doon ako nag-struggle sa Iska. Kasi it's like, okay, ang sama ng buhay ni Iska. Pero all the commentary is top line.
Parang ano ba siya? You're saying descriptive lang siya, not analytic.
Oo. And minsan I find it nga problematic. Kasi some of it, feel ko it's already becoming too imagined. And to do this, kailangan nilang i-contrive yung surroundings niya.
Yung parang closest comparison ko na recent ko na-watch is the Cinemalaya film, Jesusa. So it's also a miserablest film na anchored by a very strong female performance.
Puntahan natin yung scene na rally scene.
Ayun. She's standing in the middle of these mga aktivista, mga AS aktivista.
Sa ASO.
Sa AS yun. So, nag-chant sila ng slogans ng aktivismo na habang umiiyak si Iska sa gitna or distraught siya, whatever.
So the question is, did it work for you?
Did it work for you? Parang patama ba siya sa aktivista? Or something else?
You can read it one way na it's people supporting her, pero not actually, hindi niya nararamdaman yung benefits of that support.
Yes.
So, pag ganun, it's speaking badly of activism. Isa naman, it's like talagang siya, cry na we are one with you. Solidarity. That's another way of looking at it.
Pero either way, parang hindi rin maganda yung look doon sa mga aktivista eh.
It's a bit empty.
Yung isa kong naisip na interpretation of that scene is parang message to yung mga taong gumagawa ng aktivismo na tipong alam nilang pinaglalaban ninyo yung bigger picture. I mean, you're fighting for systemic change. Pero at the same time, isipin nyo yung plight ng mga tinutulungan nyo. Maybe, symbolically.
Pero which is kind of meta. Kasi if you think of films that are being called poverty porn,
quote-unquote.
Quote-unquote, or those that are relying too much on the narrative of poverty, at the end of the day, natutulungan ba nila yung mahihirap? I mean,
yeah. Pwede meta din yun eh. Parang ito is tungkol siya sa mahirap. Anong ginagawa niya sa mahirap?
Who benefits the most from these kinds of stories, di ba?
So, parang ang inisip mo yung aktivista ay yung film mismo?
I mean, if it's commenting on how activism is out of touch, what I'm saying is, if he is criticizing activism,
he's
for 3 fingers are pointing back at him, for 3 fingers are also pointing back at what he's doing with this film. Yun para sa akin
Pero self-aware talaga yung pelikula kasi nga si Theodore, siya yung film prof dun sa ano.
Yeah, siya yung matabang film prof dun at the start eh. I mean, he helps Iska naman, pero yung help na binibigay is also limited. So ano ba talaga, di ba?
Tapos nag-reference pa siya ng mga pamilya ordinaryo, yung nabubulok service.
I mean, is he approaching this in a meta way?
Yung contrive to be mawkish minsan.
And it doesn't, I don't think it works that well.
Kaya if I'm trying to guess yung intention ng film, more of yung story na talaga siya ng character eh. Kasi Iska. Kasi nga, yung director mismo nagsabi na ang inspiration for the film was yung house help niya.
Yeah.
Na hindi niya alam yung kwento nung tao na yun. At gusto lang niya magkwento ng ganun. So, it's really just the story without really diving deep into.
Pero minsan kasi parang
so, based ba to sa totoong buhay nung house?
Yung sinabi niya nung he was discussing it, na which I found was medyo a crutch. Kasi sabihin mo, kaya ganyan lang yan kasi based on a true story.
Pero
at the same time, when you're translating a story to film, may craftsmanship pa rin yun eh. Magaling si Ruby Ruiz.
Ruby Ruiz, best actress from the start.
Yeah. Saving Grace.
Saving Grace. Siya yung nagdala ng pelikula.
Bakit daw hindi pa ako nag-aasawa? Hindi ko na mabilang kung ilang beses na ako natanong yan. Pero alam niyo dinig dun sa boses ng taong nagtatanong yung takot nung lumagpas na ako ng 40. Hi!
Hi, did I wake you?
Viral pala tayo. Business in the dark.
So let's change gears and talk about Georgie Alonso's Belle de Lure, the 40-something woman, 45-year-old woman played by Miley Dizon. Her mother has just passed on and she's left with the house. She falls in love with an antique dealer named Kit Thompson and they have a lot of sex. PG-13 sex. I like Belle de Lure. It's a fun film.
It's pleasant.
It's pleasant. It's another addition to the growing Philippine cougar cinema.
Pero parang pag si Miley at si Kit, parang June, October lang.
June, October. Ano ba gusto ko parang Anita Linda and Noel Camilla Jr.
Grabe. Harold and Mona. Grabe yung Harold and Mona idea. Hindi kasi like si Kit looks old for his age. Apparently 22 lang siya.
Really?
He looks like 30. And si Miley looks 25, so...
Napansin niyo ba sa mga ganitong Philippine cougar cinema films, parehong very attractive yung...
Kaya ka ba yung flex?
Yeah. Parehong gwapo yung lalaki and super hunky with, muscle definition.
Kasi kung i-recall ko like in the 90s yung Sinungaling Mong Puso, Vilma Santos and Aga Mula.
Yeah.
Pare sila attractive. Or let's say, Soltera, Maricel Soriano and Dito Ocampo. Both are.
I mean, I'd like to see a film in this genre of, cougar cinema na hindi conventionally attracted either yung woman or yung man. I guess in the future, pag nag-evolve na siya beyond that.
Like samples,
I don't know.
Eugene Domingo and...
Grabe! Hindi na mag-guess.
Hindi. Kasi diba sa I Want, Septic Tank 3.
Yeah.
Sa ni
Tony
Labrusca.
Yan. Eugene Domingo, Tony Labrusca.
That was played for comedic.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga. I
subvert that.
Anyway, back to the movie. It's yun nga. Masaya siya. It's the most quote-unquote
conventional.
Yeah. Most marketable, I guess. I don't know. Very well acted. Gusto ko yung thematic interactions with the characters.
And di ba si Kit? He's an antiquarian who likes finding the beauty in old things, fixing them, and then setting them free into the world.
Very
double entendre. May Oedipal undertones pa siya kasi di ba like may missing mother
Miley's character is trying to be a mother to the mother na nawala sa character ni Kit.
And si Kit ayaw niya
na
to be treated like a child kasi feel rin niya it's being compensatory sa loss niya.
Kumbaga genre sabi si Kit Thompson.
Parang siya, si Sigmund Freud matutuwa, it's a new case, I wanna study it.
Look at this, ganun. Hindi ka dapat siguro. There's also parts in this film that are very, very nicely shot. There's a long, extended not really a single take, parang dayang single take na it cuts between multiple sex scenes na nag-iiba yung flowers to connote the passing of time.
Ang issue ko lang dito kasi I'm familiar with the story
material.
The source material kasi apparently it's based on a true story kasi like 2 years back nag-viral yung video from The Moth where this Ariana Rose, if yung name niya. So she's retelling the story na she was in her 40s, then the guy was in his 20s.
They met each other.
Baka 50 pa nga siya nun. And then they met each other. And then, when they were talking about children na-realize niya na, I cannot give this guy kids. So, siya nag-set up. So, when the film was, ito yung parang maging big finale of the film, di ba?
Yeah.
When it was moving into that, parang I could see it for
a mile away.
A mile away. And parang for me lang, the integration was a bit, kasi yung first
parang namamadali sila eh.
It was too focused on creating the heights of the earlier stages of the relationship. na yung plateau niya, hindi mo talaga ramdam.
Bigla na lang siyang...
yung
Tapos
culmination na. So, parang yung integration nun, yung paggamit kay Hannah Ledesma.
Yeah.
I felt it was too rushed.
DJ, your thoughts?
Same.
Same.
Sorry. Parang first word na naisip ko to describe the film, pleasant nga. Na para bang takot din siya dun sa drama na part. Kasi iba usual, parang romantic drama. So, meet cute, fun, and then
Conflict.
friction. And then usually, ang trajectory is talagang all the way down. Problem. Pero ito, parang nag-hover lang siya. Ayaw niyang maging unpleasant masyado.
Yeah.
Which is,
I think that's the
in
main
one way,
problem.
In one way, it's a problem. Pero for me, it was also refreshing din. After Malamaya, nauna ko sa mapanood yung Malamaya na dark talaga yung approach niya.
Interesting. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I hope it makes money at the box office.
In Jesus' name!
Problema mo. Sorry mo. Hello. Hello, babe.
Fuckboys by Eduardo Roy. Stylized as F-Boys. So it's about these two fuckboys. Alam ko yung sa Cubao pa yun. Or basta sa QC yun eh. Mankind. And they run afoul of Ricky Daval's character, who is a government official. And they have to retrieve this mayor's cell phone, which contains very incriminating video evidence of the two of them, before it's too late. And
Because
crazy
blackmail din talaga. Diba?
Yeah, there's a blackmail element to it. And then crazy things happen. Yeah, Jim, what did you think about Fuckboys?
Party. Come to mommy. Come to mommy. Okay naman siya. Okay siya sa akin. Kasi I have an idea na dun sa story because it was based on a crime story din or true to life crime.
Jim was involved.
Yeah.
No.
In this case, si
2016 kasi to.
Yeah. Barangay captain
yung
official, right?
yung napatay. Pero in this film, it's spoiler alert naman na mayor kasi yung
higher stakes.
Bilis na, no? So very similar, and nung marketing pa lang, di ba dun ng Fuckboys, nung meron ng video na sumasayaw sila ng bomba, I already have an idea na ito nga yun kasi na-reenactment na siya sa Investigador before.
With Jack Roberto.
With Jack Roberto and Lucio Ayala.
Go batchmate.
Ganon. I was hoping na sana may backstory kung paano nila nakilala si Mayor. Yan yung kasi parang it's the missing factor dun sa film.
Tapos bitin din yung ending,
Yes.
For me, it feels like the first half to a fun-looking film.
The only way to justify yung kakulangan sa storytelling ay parang John Wick na may sequel in the works.
Yeah, sequel lang yun to. I wouldn't mind the Fuckboy cinematic universe.
Two boys, two fucked.
I understand the uncertainty na gustong palabas doon ni Eduardo Roy.
Pero yung even if you want to show uncertainty, I felt like it was an incomplete film.
Yes.
Big question So parang how do they get out of it?
How do they get out of it?
Kasi more than cliffhangers, like the plot, it doesn't shape enough to be it still felt lacking. As a fan of genre cinema, I wanted to feel more of yung rara feeling na while watching it na ayan na.
Meron ganun pero kulang.
Pero natutuwa ako dun sa film kasi di ba nung pumasok na sila dun sa car or sa van, parang it reminds me of Kinatay kasi di ba papunta silang expressway and then nung nandun na sila sa papunta sa isla, di ba yung sinalubong sila ni Ruby Ruiz, parang Gino Tuhari and then it's also Ruby Ruiz, so talagang natatawa ako. Ano kaya ang mas challenging dun sa dalawang actor? Yung nagpakita sila ng titi at puwet? Or buhatin si Ricky Davao? Kasi
bigat ni Ricky Davao.
Kamukha na tatin si Ricky Davao kasi nahihirapan ako.
Edo, gumawa ka na ng Fuckboys 2. Two boys, two fucked. Yun.
Within 30 minutes, pakuha na po ng clearance ng patient niya sa mga.
Boy. Umalis ka nga dyan.
Edward by Top Nazareno. This is his second Cinemalaya film after Kiko Boxingero, and it's about Edward, who is taking care of his ill father in a large government hospital, probably a tertiary hospital. He discovers a lot of lessons about life while he's there. I'll start with Edward.
As a doctor from a public
I
hospital.
mean, I work in a public hospital, a large tertiary hospital, PGH. When I was training there as a clerk and as an intern, ganyan-ganyan talaga yung nakikita ko. Crowded, maraming pasyente.
Necrophilia.
Hindi naman necrophilia. Hindi makaalis. Hindi sila makaalis dahil may sakit. Matagal yung labs kasi walang pambayad. Naghahanap ng pambayad kaya pumupunta sa mga PCSO, pumupunta sa mga local politicians. Nagkakaproblema sa nagbabantay. Kasi dito talaga, kung sa US or some other countries, walang bantay, parang binabantayan sila ng nurses. Dahil sa atin, sobrang konti ng nurses natin at konti ng doktor natin, meron tayong bantay/alalay na basically errand person, nagra-run ng laboratory, bumibili ng gamit, bumibili ng pagkain.
And at the same time, yan doon yung close family ties din eh. Kaya doon
Yeah,
family talagang binabantay.
Parang culturally, it's part ng Filipino experience. In terms of production design, I know why this film won Best Production Design at Cinemalaya. Kasi sobrang accurate niya to its setting. Tapos si Top Nazareno, master siya of having these simple stories. Tapos at the end, may biglang kirot sa puso na sobrang ang bigat niya. And while at the same time, it sheds a light on bigger societal problems. In this case, yung natin sa healthcare.
He takes big themes and then tells it through the eyes of innocence. Parang,
it's a very personal story.
Yeah, so
small scale.
You do personal stories pero ingrained doon yung larger theme. So example, in order to tell Edward's story na he's basically spending his adolescent years inside the hospital, it's because of the systemic problems na para lang makakuha ng results from the TB test. It will take 3 weeks.
By the way, yung test na yung test na specify nila is a sputum AFB. Normally, it takes 1 day. May mga ibang hospital na send out and it takes longer. Pero ito 3 weeks I'm not sure kung anong time frame.
But even before that, diba? Like, they were trying to say, ano kaya problema nito? Hindi natin alam. So,
yeah, they don't have tests. Laboratory-wise, kasi ako, I work in laboratories. Laboratory-wise, there are lots of government hospitals that are ill-equipped to deal with this kind of problem.
So, like, what I was saying, these are the big themes. Pero they tackle it through a personal story. Kasi you end up building relationships while you're in the hospital. Kasi lahat ng nilagay ni Thought dun sa film niya, ginamit niya. And I think yung tandem na ni James Mayo, they do the same things. Kasi even Kuya Wes and the Chanters, every element is purposeful.
Walang tapon.
Sa narrative. Siguro like, ang difference ito sa like, you were talking about Beldelor, we felt rushed. Ito, this did not feel rushed kasi everything was foreshadowed, everything
sakto
was given enough time to percolate.
Parang ganda nga nung pacing, no? Tapos, yung sense of release nung finally nakalabas ka na as a viewer with Edward sa hospital. Parang may sense of adventure na. Kaya ganda nung climax. Hospitals, usually grim place yan, supposedly, di ba? Pero dito, ang bright and clean pa rin nung niya. So parang starry-eyed pa rin. I guess dahil perspective ni Edward yung pelikula.
Not exactly clean, quote-unquote per se. Pero parang he's trying to make the best out of,
Yeah, and as a young boy, parang you turn the place into a playground pa rin.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Makikita mo doon sa first scene, yung reality nung yung ER is very chaotic, dami nangyayari.
Very Boogie Nights Goodfellas. So yung first shot na yan.
And then we cut to these two boys and they're nagpupustahan sila kung sino mamamatay, di ba?
Kaya nga gusto ko rin yung soundtrack dito na yung saxophone.
Ang ganda nga,
sobrang teasing na ano ba to? Nasa hotel ba sila or nasa hospital?
Nasa hospital.
Sobrang teasing kasi yung soundtrack.
And I think may talent si Thop in casting. Kasi the people that he cast, like Noel Comia, and now si Luis Abuel, they're all standouts eh. Like, they really embody the roles and they get to evoke that yung starry-eyed, like what...
Would you say he's like an actor's director?
Malinis siya mag-direct. I mean,
malinis talaga.
Yeah. Storytelling-wise, pacing-wise, kita mo,
polish,
in-depth hand niya in...
Kung ako yung jury, I would have chosen him as best.
Actually, I would have done the same kasi though I really like John Denver trending, I think yung ending niya, we'll talk about it later naman. Pero like...
This ending's really strong.
I think Edward is the more well-crafted.
Yeah, by the end of the year, feel ko nasa taas pa rin to sa akin.
Most of you are familiar with that movie. Noong napanood ko yun, di ko talaga mapigilang magalit. This is my message to that boy. Boy, balita ko yung father mo is...
John Denver trending by, ano ba?
Arden Rodquin.
Arden Rodquin. Boy named John Denver. Who trended because he beat up someone who was accusing him of stealing an iPad. But leche yung iPad na yun.
Hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin nahanap. So,
para si Baby Arjan.
Pakahawak ni Baby Arjan.
You know, the Philippines in the age of social media, fake news, creating false narratives. Yung culture natin na husga kagad before context.
Yeah, call out culture.
Call out culture basically. Parang the more emotional your narrative, the more believable it seems to be. It doesn't have to be true.
I think what's most harrowing about the film it states this as very matter-of-factly na it's not heavy-handed commentary. It just presents the natural cascade of things like this na we are very familiar with, though we often see pero not at this level, not at the ground level, and in a way it puts the culpability and the complicity sa audience. So parang all of us we were part of this somehow. I'm sure we shared. I'm sure we bashed someone.
Nakapag-share na tayo. We shared something na hindi pala totoo without thinking about it.
Kasi by just presenting it and not really pointing a finger, minsan mas striking pa nga siya
Filipino na Black Mirror na set in the province.
Kasi ang nakita natin one-sided lang yung story. Kasi diba, sinaktan niya naman talaga yung classmate niya because inaccused siya na ninakaw yung iPad.
Si John Denver, he's not the best student naman. Hindi siya anghel.
Yung nga what's nice kasi it's rough around the edges siya like we get na meron siyang history of violence.
Parang basagulero siya.
Pero like, by watching this film, kita mo na
disproportionate.
May pinagagalingan. Like,
yung tatay niya.
Actually,
like, he was raised in a milieu na he has to consistently defend himself, diba?
Yung paghusga sa kanya dito sa pelikulang to, it stems from, emotional, na hindi nila ina-understand yung yung daming factors. Hindi siya inintindi ng mga tao.
Pero kasi nakikita mo rin yung yun how in-exacerbate ng social media yung this dapat school confined problem
in-amplify niya exponentially.
It works well sa small town setting kasi given how the lives of people in small towns are naturally crisscrossing and how involved they are,
parang
mas lumala pa.
Yun nga, by itself, yung mga small times, diba? Chismis na yun chismis kung chismis Parang yun pa, nilobo niya to something big.
Kasi umabot na kay Mayor, umabot na dun sa mga...
social media.
Umabot na sa blogger, political blogger, nakikinig makisaw-saw sa issues.
Tapos may konting touch din siya on. Kasi di ba may issue ngayon of lowering the age of criminal liability?
Yeah.
Meron tong very unsympathetic police character
actually.
Na talagang from the start, ang parang guilty until proven innocent na yung bata. Which should not be how things are done. Pero yun yung ginawa niya.
Sa akin naman, what it reminds me of is yung bagahe ni Zig Dulay from 2 years ago. Kasi this is a film that touches on social institutions There's a church.
Yes.
Kasi nasa Catholic school siya.
There's a school.
Police, the school, and technology is kind of a social institution now Kaya na-predict, or sinabi ko na this film had a good chance at winning best cinematography din. Because of a few shots. Isa yung nung sinundo ni John Denver yung nanay niya. Kasi pinapatawag ng skolahan. And then, wordless yung scene na yun Parang tumayo lang siya doon hanggang mapansin siya ng nanay niya. And then sa likod niya, naka-blur out.
Para shallow focus, di ba?
Pero nandun yung police. Yung dread nung image na yun, na-capture niya. And then nung bumalik na sila sa eskwelahan, actually yung school is trying to contain nga yung issue, di ba? So parang may caring aspect yung tong Catholic school na to. And then may shot na si John Denver. And then yung Mother Mary and Child Jesus frame nasa likod niya.
Yeah.
And then in between siya ng police and yung may priest yata rin, or at least yung school teachers. Ganun. So there's this
visually, ang ganda. Oh, ang ganda.
Yeah.
Ang ganda visually.
Yes, ang ganda talaga.
Which is why it won Best Cinematography.
It's really carried rin on the backs of the acting.
Performances.
Kasi like si John Denver, parang ano siya eh, may world weariness sa kanya na like he's so young pero
ang dami na niyang pinagdaan.
Ang bigat ng diadala niya.
Ramdam mo na yung burden sa kanya.
Si James Espinosa nga, he mentioned something about may parang scarlet letter daw siya, yung stained polo niya.
Yung nag-stain ng polo, yung nag-accuse sa kanya of stealing niya.
What did you feel about the ending? For me, if
I
ever
agree sa'yo na
it's
it's nihilistic. Although, when I read Augs Cruz yung comment niya, na parang wala nang ibang way to end it. Kasi yung film, pa-escalate siya ng pa-escalate, pataas siya ng pataas. So, parang kung iisipan mo siya ng ibang ending, you cannot do a happy ending.
Totoo naman.
One of my points of comparison with this film is yung work ni Kafka na The Trial, na tipong he's been convicted of a crime na he's innocent of, pero alam mo yun, tuloy-tuloy siyang hanggang in-execute siya sa end. I mean, yun nga, yung sinabi ko sa kay Ogs, may inevitability dun sa fate niya na I don't think you can easily say that that's the convenient way to opt out of it. I don't think so. It's more, ito talaga eh. Anything else would have felt weird or unnatural.
If we feel disturbed by it, or if we are uncomfortable with how it ended, kasi the film rin is, it fits the theme of the film na this time, there's no turning a blind eye sa nangyayari. But at the same time, parang
right, cliche yung mga words like gripping, compelling, and haunting. Yun yung talaga naiisip ko dun sa film. And alam mo yun, parang tatatak siya for long time pa kasi ang ganda nung message din ng film.
Maybe one of the reasons na hindi ako nabibigatan sa message ng John Denver kasi marami kasi akong binabasa about technology and society. And I've read stuff na goes much deeper into this. One good summary is, or statement is technology is neither good nor bad, but it's not neutral either. Mahirap siya explain pero mahabang usapan. Pero John Denver trending touched upon that naman. Di pa natin na-mention, pero may scene yung nag-edit sila ng video.
Yes, ang ganda naman.
So, ang bigat nun eh. Parang ganda.
Yeah. It's been a nice year. Really, a couple of really great films, a bunch of okay films, some films, and there are some films that are not that good. There are some films that are good at first, but
I think nabuhayan ako ng loob sa
Pilipino
for a film for this year. Kasi like this year, I was very vocal naman na before these two films. Like wala pa akong napapanood na that I really liked, that I actively liked.
Unlike the last 2 years, walang film this year na parang I feel like nagbago talaga yung worldview ko ganyan. Pero at the same time, wala rin horrible films.
Ano bang films nagbago yung worldview mo?
Ang bigat, no? Pero hindi naman, parang yung may talaga napulot ako na, uy, bago to. Last year, Distance.
Distance.
2 years ago,
Respeto?
Respeto. Or, hindi naman nagbago, pero yung ang laki talaga yung pelikula.
Exciting siya kasi iba-iba na yung kumbaga diverse yung genre and nag-experiment yung mga hindi pa na-explore or natatakal na subject or mga topics in movies.
So yun, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Maybe in the future, in the near future, we'll have another special Cinemalaya episode.
Diyan wasn't trending.
We'll be talking with filmmakers, actors, etc. So until next time, We'll see you at the next
Third World Cinema Club.